yesterday we debated the merits
Yeah.
of it. Today we're talking about the fact that they're not even going to be allowed to implement it because Rishi Sunak has said no.
This is the first time that the Westminster government has intervened to stop something coming out of the Scottish Parliament. It's allowed in the legislation. It's quite clear. You can intervene if you think it's something that can affect UK-wide issues. This will, in the government's view, affect the equality.
This is changing the age at which you can...
change your gender to 16.
Change your gender legally from 18 to 16.
Without any medical involvement at all, so no definition of gender dysphoria, and you only have to live like as the opposite sex for 6 months. And if you're 18, you can do it in 3 months. They're too young, these people. And the issue for the British government in Westminster is this could have impacts because 16-year-olds here could move to Scotland, and that's not the view, that's not the policy in England and Wales, although they're going to probably go the same way in Wales with the Labour government. And also, what happens they could then, a kid who's changed their gender...
would they be recognised in that gender if they crossed over?
Exactly.
Into
And can they then join a girls' school if they're a boy who now says they're a girl? And can they go into same-sex dress to a woman's dressing room? This is what J.K. Rowling is fighting.
Here. This is like the US Supreme Court saying to an individual state, to Texas, you can't implement the law in your state in that way because this conflicts with our American-wide constitution. And it's a normal thing. But what's happening here, the question is, the Supreme Court will decide, is UK law going to take precedence over what has been legislated in Scotland?
And I hope, because it will go to the Supreme Court, and I hope, because Rishi Sunak's right, these kids are too young.
But the constitutional position, I remember the big devolution debate, is powers are devolved from the United Kingdom to Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Not under the 2010 Equalities Act, which Harriet Harman took through. I remember it's a landmark piece of legislation, it's a very good piece of legislation. Because trans people, we saw in the census, it was England and Wales actually, there's about 250,000 people who are trans, but not in the gender, the sex that they were born with, and they deserve understanding and sympathy. But there is also some hard politics
and the indications are that
both
Labour...
Sturgeon and Sunak are looking for issues to have battles over.
But come on, Kevin, this is so serious. It's not just about politics. This is very serious.
You know that is there. And then there's a problem for Starmer.
What is Starmer going to do? It looks like he's going to support Sunak.
But Scottish
I
MPs...
think so, yeah.
But Scottish...
Because
Labour Scottish members of Parliament overwhelmingly support this, Kevin.
But in Scotland, the change is unpopular with most people.
Of course it is.
If you were advising Keir Starmer, what would you tell him to do?
I would probably go along with Sunak and say, look, this is the constitutional position.
And then he picks a fight with his Scottish Labour Party.
Remember, he can fall back. And it's a tricky issue because there's trans people and living their lives as they wish to live them and having understanding without prejudice and bigotry. But then there are also genuine issues around women's spaces and security and how they are. Now, if you're Starmer, you're a lawyer, you're a KC... But he's also got an eye on you can quite
votes in Scotland.
But he's got an eye on the election, Kevin. How will this, do you think, affect general election politics for Labour?
For Labour, he'll have problems within sections of his party, undoubtedly, over trans rights and a battle with Anna Sarwar in Scotland, who's
Kevin,
the...
did you say that most people in Scotland oppose this and
I think they do.
would support what Rishi Sunak...
Yeah, the change is not popular in Scotland.
In which case, the Keir Starmer can safely back Rishi Sunak.
But he's got his Scottish Labour Party supporting it.
That's his calculation. But the issue is...
But he's looking for votes.
Of course.
Yeah, but you're right. But it comes...
But he should do the right thing. These kids are too young, Susanna. If you're a parent watching this, you don't want your 16-year-old to be able to change their gender in 6 months.
You're right, but then there are other issues. If you can change your gender on your birth certificate, then there are areas, whether it's women's refuges, prisons, changing rooms... and sport.
Girls' schools.
And sport. They're all issues, but it's whether you want to address them in a kind of...
Is doing the right thing here also good politics for Keir Starmer?
Probably, I think. But he's also got a problem because some of these parties say, hang on, look, trans people suffer terrible discrimination. And you've got to consider that.
These people are too young.